Hey, welcome back. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a different video today. It's one that I haven't seen on YouTube. I've talked about it a little bit in previous videos, but never in any kind of detail. So this is Mercury. Mercury is almost 17 years old, and he is my retired service dog. He is very, very retired, which is actually something what I wanted to talk about mostly in this video is that a lot of the service dog content I see on YouTube, understandably, is very young teams, young working teams, and it's not really talked a lot about what happens later. So I want to talk a little bit about retirement, what that's like, and one of the challenges are around that experience. I think for the dog and for the handler. Yeah. So, as I said, this is Mercury. He was my working service dog for many years. He has been retired for over 10 years now. He will be turning 17 in a couple of months. He is partially blind. He is partially deaf. He has very few teeth at this point, despite really great dental care. That's what happens when you are almost 17 years old and a Chihuahua mix. He was my working service dog. I know. Starting when I was about 18 years old, he worked with me through my undergraduate college years, and he was my working service dog. He retired a little bit before he turned 6. I feel like that's true. We had moved to New York City, and he was slowing down a little bit, which is kind of funny now to think 10 years later, but he was slowing down a little bit. He had some medical issues come up with allergies, and living in New York was challenging in different ways. I found it very unsafe to have a working service dog there, particularly a service dog of his size. There's just a lot of harassment. There was a lot of harassment just being a person that looked like me walking around in New York. And certainly, at that time, 10 years ago, you done being in the video? I'm interrupting his morning nap. Certainly, 10 years ago, there was very little information about service dogs in the way that it is, not very little, but there was less information than there is now, and less knowledge from the general public. And New York was rough. We moved from Portland, Oregon, actually where we live now again, but we lived in New York for 13 years. And, or almost 13 years. And so he had slowly begun retiring after we moved to New York. He worked for a bit of time there, and I slowly began phasing him out of working. My own disabilities also looked different for me at that point. And I wanted to attempt to mitigate them differently and try not having a working service dog, especially because of safety for my dog in New York. It didn't feel right at that point. But it's hard. It's different, certainly watching him age, and he is now very, very, very geriatric, is challenging when I think about all of the things that he did when he was working and when he had different sort of mental capabilities than he does now. He's a very happy super senior. He is active. He hikes. He walks. He is a normal dog, but he, certainly has slowed down, and he gets confused, and he gets disoriented, and and it's hard to see, from my former service dog who went to college with me every day and who, helped me. You can find a spot to nap. We'll go to the Merc Cam. Who helped me navigate life in so many ways, and worked in airports and worked, across my college campus, and getting me, through some really, really difficult years of my life. And so I'm so grateful to have him, still around and still be pretty with it. Yeah, but it's kind of weird to also know that he is really fragile and he is really frail. And I feel um, terrified about what will happen, that, he's not going to live forever. We're totally in denial about that, aren't we, buddy? Um, that he's been with me through some of the most difficult times in my life and helped me to navigate, to navigate those moments and to really make it possible. I would not have graduated college if I didn't have a working service dog. There's no doubt in my mind. I was not able. You were just not sure where you want to take your nap. And I'm so grateful that I had him helping me in those times where I was really, really in need of a lot of support. And he was able to make it possible for me to independently do things that just were not possible for me. And, my disabilities, he was primarily a PTSD dog who alerted to and then would respond to PTSD attacks or episodes. And I'm so grateful to him. That noise you hear is him licking his feet. What can I say? I know, I'm calling you out. It's the Merc Cam. Just gonna lick our feet. Is that what we're doing now? Is that what we do at 17? Yeah. I'm so grateful to him. And, I have 2 other dogs who are more active on this channel because this channel is a lot more about training and things like that. And I just wanted to do a little video with him and to talk about, how hard it is to watch him age, particularly as a super senior. And it's not something that, because I had a service dog 16, starting, training with him when he was a young puppy, and working, really not pre-internet, but pre-social media. Like LiveJournal existed, and there were a couple service dog communities on LiveJournal that I was part of, but there just wasn't the proliferation of social media and connection to other service dog handlers. And I have friends who are service dog handlers, but I've never really talked to somebody who had a similar experience as what I'm having now of watching my service dog age as a super senior, long retired. The service dog handlers I know mostly have been who've have retired dogs, were program placed dogs, were guide dogs who have gone to retirement family placements. And so it's really different. I'm so grateful to be able to give him an amazing retirement. And he's had so much fun. He's traveled with our other dogs and gone on vacations, and he swims. He still swims. I mean, he's an amazing tiny super senior, but it's hard. It's hard when he has rough days where he's confused or, he's disoriented or he's not feeling great. And his good days far outnumber his bad days. And I'm so grateful for the amazing medical, veterinary teams that have, worked with him over the years. And, that's why he's here, and it's why he's having a good quality of life. And he just fell asleep. Look at that. Look at that little beep. He's so cute. Oh, but it's hard. It's hard to see him age. It's hard to see a dog who was so vibrant, who defied so many expectations of what tiny dogs do by absolutely saving my life, by being my lifeline, by making it possible for me to be, successfully independent. I was independent when I got him. I was homeless as a teenager, but him working enabled me to build the life I have now. It's because of him that I got through college. It's because of him, that I was able to start writing, and now I work full time as an author, and it's just hard to watch him age, and it feels very different. I've certainly had old dogs before. I've been in dogs my whole life. I've lost, dogs to old age and illness, and it's devastating and absolutely heartbreaking, but it's so different to watch with a service dog. And it's something that I don't know. So, it's something I haven't seen on YouTube. If you're a service dog handler or, have a retired service dog who you've watched age, let me know in the comments what that experience is like for you. It's something I just think about all the time. I'm still just making sense of for myself and grappling with, because it's so unique. And I don't have a working service dog at this time. I haven't since he retired. I do think that at some point in the future, I will be looking for a service dog prospect. As I said, my disability has shifted in different ways in terms of the severity of it at different points in my life. And I think that there is a strong likelihood that I will end up with a service dog prospect again. Having gone through this major life shift and leaving New York, safety of the dog is no longer a concern for me. And there are working service dog teams in New York. I'm not saying I think it's unsafe, but it felt unsafe to me in the neighborhoods that I lived in and the jobs that I had. It was better for me to deal with my disabilities in a different way that is than having a service dog for the safety of a working dog. So I feel like I'm just rambling now, but that is a tiny bit of my service dog journey. But let me know in the comments if you have dealt with the aging of a service dog and what that's been like for you. And I'm going to let this super senior take a nap now. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe if you have not already subscribed, and we'll see you soon.